Welcome back to another episode of the Consistency Conversation. Today on the show, we have my friend Liz. We met a few years ago. We both worked in the same elementary school together. She was an educator, and I was also working as a school counselor. We had conversations back in the day. We were two of the people who were into fitness and working out and different things like that. And now she is a former educator and a life coach. So welcome to the show, Liz. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me. I think it's a great opportunity to share my experience. Mm-hmm. I love this country very much. It has given me a lot. So I'm so grateful for being here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just to, like she said, she loved this country. Liz is actually from Colombia. And we have a splash program. We have a dual language program at the school that I work at. And she was one of the dual language teachers there. So she speaks very fluent Spanish. And so if you are in the need for a life coach or something like that, we're going to get into that a little bit more later on. But if you're in need of a life coach and you may speak Spanish, you good. So she's dual language. Yeah, Spanish and English. How did you get into education? Let's start there.
So I studied in an English teaching program back in Colombia. Mm-hmm. I graduated in 2010. Then I did some work in private schools. And I noticed that I wanted more. So I applied for this program in North Carolina that brings teachers, Spanish teachers. And I got the job and I moved to Clayton. It was in 2014. And I worked for the school for 5 years. I did my whole program. It was 5 years of teaching. Mm-hmm. And I taught different grades and it was an amazing experience, a lot of learning. Mm-hmm. And I met my husband, got married, had a kid. So it was wonderful. So far, I have been here for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. 7 years. Let's see, 14. I was still in the military then. We met, I think, in 2017 once I got out.
Yes, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how did you end up? Because I noticed I saw you on social media and different things, and you were talking about life coaching and different things like that. And I was like, ooh, yeah. I said she would be a great life coach, especially with her experiences, the educational piece, what I knew about you as an educator and stuff like that. And I was like, ooh, she's going to be great. So I'm super excited that you are a fully licensed life coach now. So let's talk about life coach. What's life coaching about?
So basically my job is to help people create results right now. So if people want to start working out or they don't have the consistency to work out, I come in and I help them to create the result.
Oh, nice.
That's basically what I do. Help people create results in their life.
Yeah.
And I got into this coaching because, in 2018, two things happened to me and they changed my life. In September of 2018, I became a newly mom. And a month later, my husband passed away from leukemia.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember finding myself lost, especially because I was dealing with two identities at the same time, becoming a mom and being a widow. So it took me a quite while to get up and go back into my routine. I think that the way that people could see me was, oh, she's doing fine. She's trying her best. But inside I was empty. I have to tell you, I was lost. I didn't know. I was working on an autopilot mode, I think. Like just surviving every day. And then I noticed that wasn't how I wanted to live my life. I wanted more. I wanted to provide my child a happy, or at least a stable mom. And I was very unhappy. I was dealing with a lot of grief, and I wasn't processing in the way that maybe it may have been, was just buffering with just watching TV or just going for a walk and then coming back and just again closing myself into the sadness everything that all these emotions that grief brings. So I think it was a breaking point. And I needed to do something for myself. So I started researching and I found coaching. I found a widow mom coach. And I started listening to her podcast, and that was life-changing. Just by doing that, all the things she explained, how the brain works after a loss, and the post-traumatic effects on somebody, and also the post-traumatic growth. And I was so engaged into this because I was taking action. I was going out, I was trying out, I went to yoga. Okay, let's do this because I need to find my peace. I need to get up the way that I want. And then, but it wasn't enough because I was so focused on the actions that I forgot that piece. And I think many people forget that piece, is the mind.
Yes.
So with coaching, what we do is that we focus on the mind first, so then people can take actions. And that's how I joined this group. I worked with them for 6 months, and then it was so much content, and I thought, well, I somebody needs to teach this to my Hispanic community. I think this knowledge is so valuable, and people need to know this. And then I was thinking about who? No. So I started posting, and that's how and then I will work out because that was part of my action day, how I wanted to be the mom that I wanted to be. I wanted to look athletic, and because I love my body. And part of the sadness that came to me was the changes in my body after having my son. And it was hard to see my body change. I was grieving that as well, not only my husband but also myself. And people told me, just focus on the baby and then things are gonna get better. And I was forgetting myself, the woman. So through the coaching, that's how I started. Okay, probably it's not about my son, he's fine, but it's about me. I'm forgetting myself. What do you pour out of an empty cup? And then I start posting all the work that I was doing with myself. Start posting and working out early, and then showing up in the way that I wanted. I organized my schedule around myself, my son, and the house, being a solo parent, dealing with everything, juggling the everyday life. And well, it's been 3 years since it passed. The feelings are still there, but another thing that I learned from coaching was a different way to process my emotions, especially the negative, because I was thinking that maybe after the first year it was gonna be done. It was gonna be fine, and I'm not gonna grieve anymore. I was not gonna grieve anymore. It was gonna be maybe just 1 year, and then everything is coming back to normal. Well, nothing has come back to normal, and I have embraced these changes. So this is how I am here, and I work out every day. I love it. Love the feeling after working out, but the workout itself is horrible, I have to tell you. But it's the reward in the long term.
Yes. That's so funny that you say that, because that's how I am now. Like, I don't necessarily look forward to each and every workout, but I look forward to the feeling of accomplishment after I work out. You know what I mean? Because we really only work out for a small portion of the day anyway, and we have so much other time for the day to do whatever it is we want to do. Now, you said you work out every day, and I started seeing you post, a while ago back on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, Miss Odonia, she's getting it, she's doing her thing. And I was so excited to see you, and and see your progress and different things like that, how you have been, your journey, it's amazing.
Right. And I didn't think it was going to help anybody, because it was just for me. Like, I was trying to keep record of the thoughts or the things that served me during that day. But I started receiving messages from people like, hey, thank you for posting that, because I wasn't feeling good. You're keeping me motivated. Keep it up. And I was like, oh, wow, well, I didn't know I was helping somebody, but I'm glad, right?
And I
So
think that's,
it has been
go ahead.
I think it hasn't been easy, honestly. It takes a lot of mental work, especially to be able to go forward, but it's possible.
That's good. So you said that you're a mother, you work out every day, you're a life coach, so your schedule has to be busy. So how is it, do you find time? How do you manage your life to still be able to work out even though you have a toddler?
Right. Well, the time is neutral, so it's my thoughts about the time. So if I think that I have enough time, I have enough time.
Okay,
and then what I do is like, it's not about how many number of days I work out, and that's what I tell the people that I coach, is what resonates with you. If you think that you only need 3 days to work out, that's what you need. Because we try to compare with everybody else, and they know that this person works out 7 days a week. That's why you see the changes. No, it's up to you. If you think it is 20 minutes that you can do it, just start thinking what you need to think so that you can do it.
I agree. I know a lot of people.
Of course, my schedule is very intentional. And one thing that I have learned is that we need to plan for our solo time daily. You don't want to burn yourself out. You have to put in there your even 10 minutes, 20 minutes to meditate. I don't know, 5 minutes. Start with something small, but give yourself that solo time that you can reconnect with yourself and ground, because it's very important.
Do you meditate? Like, what's your main way to kind of ground yourself every day? I know for me, it's just simply the gym. I do meditation and stuff on not every day, but I do it on a regular basis. But for me, the gym and walking and throwing the podcast on works very well for my sanity and for my mental well-being.
Well, the way that I do it is, I work out mostly every day. I don't do Sundays. Like, I allow my body to rest, take it slowly. But what I do is that I get up early, super early, and I have an app that is called the tapping, and I tap. And then you can tap on any feelings that you have. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling loneliness, you just find the body. So let's say that is my meditation. It lasts around 10 minutes. Then from there, I get ready and I go to the gym. My gym is closed. So then right now I have my mom here, but before, during COVID, I was on my own. So the way that I planned it was that my workout was during my son's nap. And I was very disciplined with when putting him to nap. And I didn't think about that. Today I'm not gonna do it. I think I'm tired. No, just do it. 1 hour, and then one hour working out. So there was no excuse for me. Even though I was a solo parent and dealing with everything, I will figure it out. Like, that was my thought. I can figure this out.
Yeah,
there is time.
I know there are some. I know a couple of new moms right now. And I know one of the things that they talk about is, kind of what I said earlier, is not having time. So what is something that you would suggest a new mom do to find time or to make time to get their workout in each day or whenever it is that they're supposed to do it? I know you said you were real disciplined about your naps with your son and stuff like that.
But I also think that don't overthink it. Like, do it. Even if it is 30 minutes, do it.
So like, when you get some time.
Going for a walk, go for a walk.
Yeah.
One important thing, plan. What do you want to eat? Because of course we gain weight after a pregnancy. Just start eating, like plan your foods, your meals. And then I know that because I know that's hard. You can plan and then you don't follow up, right? But just keep trying every day. Like, I remember asking myself this question: how many times are you willing to fail until you get the result you want? And sometimes that I want to eat this. I'm like, no, stay focused. This is your plan. I don't want to go to the gym. You can do this. It's just one thing today. Doesn't need to be perfect.
So you work out every day. So you're working on your physical. You do mental exercises to help you mentally. What about the diet? What does Liz eat on a regular basis? Are you on a specific diet, or do you kind of eat 80-20? How do you maintain getting the right nutrition in a certain weight and all of these things?
Well, I don't eat a lot of sugar. Daily. Maybe, once in a while, but I don't have sugar in my house. I like bread, so I didn't want to cut on bread because, again, it's not that you have to restrict yourself from everything. And that's another thing that you learn in coaching. How can you experience your emotions? Because sometimes we want to eat because we feel anxious. It's not really because we are hungry. So there is food in my house, there is sugar and everything, but I don't go and just eat it. So basically what I eat, is vegetables, my protein, and 1 or twice a day, a carbo. I try to go for whole grains, but sometimes I have to be honest, I like bread, so I have a piece of bread in the morning, and that's about it.
Bread too.
Drinking water. For me, that was hard because I didn't used to drink a lot of water. And then you start with this goal that you're gonna drink 8 glasses a day. You can do it one day. You're not gonna stay consistent if you're not disciplined and you don't work your mind. So just start slowly. Okay, maybe this week I'm gonna have 3 glasses of water every day, and then the next week I will increase and slowly, right? To what you need.
Working your way up to it instead of because I think that's very important, because what happens in many cases, people will say, I'm gonna go out, and they go out and they go on Amazon and they buy this big 1 gallon drink, and then they start it and they got all the lines on it with time to drink. But when you haven't been used to drinking water and you set your goals so high, and you may achieve it 1 or 2 days, but it's really unrealistic to think that people will stick to it. Some people will, but the average person don't, and that's why we have the amount of obesity that we have in the world today. So, having people, start slowly and build up that's how we do anything. Like, even when we started in education, like, we don't start at 12th grade, like we started in kindergarten. We learned.
I think people forget that we go slowly. They want to go fast and they want the results immediately.
Yeah.
And then you can get the results immediately, but then eventually you go back to the old pattern because you haven't trained your mind.
Yeah.
And with this coaching, it's like when I ask my clients, what is the rush? And it's always that they want to look good quickly. And can you do this work even if it takes 5 years? Can you just hang it in there? We're getting used to this. We're maybe slowly. How many years have you been eating certain way and then you expect to change in 1 or 2 days? That's not fair with yourself either. Like, have a little bit of compassion and just go slowly. And you don't have to start with changing your full diet. Just one thing. Maybe you usually stop at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Well, what about you stop 3 times a week? Just take 1 day off.
Yeah.
Start changing little changes. It's one step at a time, one little thing.
Yeah, because those things, going to McDonald's and not working out and not eating well, those things are habitual. Those things are patterns and things that we have been doing for day after day, week after week, month after month. So like you said, sometimes when we eat, it's all the habit too. We might not even be hungry. We're like, oh well, it's 12 o'clock, it's time to eat lunch. You know, even though you may have had a huge breakfast or whatever, you know, a lot of things we do are just out of habit, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
And that's important to know when is that you're having emotional hunger, when is that you're having physical hunger. Starting to know yourself and okay, this is when I eat this, is this because I am really hungry, or and if I am, can I try this fruit instead of this piece of candy? And then start, I think it's more about awareness of yourself, like what is the feeling that is causing me to do this? Do I feel lonely? For me, it was loneliness a lot, especially after my husband passed, and the weekends, the nights, because that was the time that I used to hang out with him. So finding myself feeling lonely, that was when I used to sit down and watch TV. My buffer was watching TV. It wasn't about eating because I'm not into a lot of sugars and
yeah, you're not a foodie. Yeah.
But it was about just trying to disconnect with television, right? And then I will go back to later to bed, and then I will be tired the next day for my son, and moody because I didn't follow up on my schedule. So, and that was a routine. I mean, it took me a while to break it up.
Yeah, that's really important. I know I see a lot of people, you know, on social media, and they'll be on there. You see them posting. I mean, I'm on social media too. I'm on there doing personal stuff, but I'm also on there working at the same time. But I'll see people on there all day long on social media, but you know, they never post anything about like going to the gym, or they don't work out. And then you will hear them and see them post content about how they're not happy and they're not where they are, you know. And I think a lot of time they're spending on social media looking at people that are the end result, you know. They don't see the progress, you know. And that's the progress. The journey is the key, you know.
Right. And it's hard. I mean, I have my calluses from working out. It's not that. And I complain. I mean, when I am, because I have a person that guides me. He's from Colombia, and we do virtual training. So he is every day, I mean, the one that listens to my complaints. No, I don't want to do this on Y20. I want to do 10. And I complain, but again, it's how I feel after. And and the way that I feel with myself it gives me a lot of strength. I mean, because I am thinking I'm doing this. I'm taking care of the mom, of the woman, of the widow.
And you said like you don't know. I think a lot of people. I think some people feel like you have to love working out. I don't agree with that. Like I don't. Do you love working out every day?
Not every day, but I enjoy certain exercises.
Yeah, yes. Same. Yeah.
Maybe you can start with that. Start working out, loving certain. I mean, maybe there are things that you like.
What do you do? What do you do? Cause I know I used to see you on the bike some.
So that's my cardio. My cardio is at least 30 minutes of cycling, or maybe on the walking.
Like on the like a treadmill or something.
The treadmill, right? And then I also do my lifting weights, and I mean, I feel very proud because I used to lift like 10 or less. I started with 5 pounds from home because I started working out here at home. And now that I am at the gym, I'm lifting 15 pounds just for my arms. So I was like, oh wow. And when I'm doing that, I'm thinking I like how you look. You got this. I love to see my muscles tone and my arms, and I'm doing this because I know it's hard. But I like the way my arms look and feel strong. So it's worth it.
Yeah. I know. I'm glad that you said that you lift weights, because a lot of many females try to stay away from the weights because they feel like they're going to bulk up. And I actually had somebody on the show earlier, this week, and she said she lifts weight and she lost over 100 pounds. So I am glad that there's another woman that's, co-signing the fact that just because you lift weights doesn't mean that you're going to bulk up and have a huge, a jawline and all of these.
Right. And then also it takes time. It's not that in 1 month you're going to...
be jacked up. Yeah. But some people think that.
Yeah. I hear sometimes I used to have that belief, and I told my trainer, and he said, well, the best way to burn calories is lifting weights. And you stay toned, and no, you're not gonna grow your muscles like you think, because that's not gonna happen. So
your trainer told you that you'd burn more calories lifting weights?
Right.
I agree.
See?
Yeah.
And I'm not an expert on this, but then that was another thing that I found. Like, I didn't know how to work out. But there are many resources that you can find, apps. You can go for free on YouTube. I started for free with my personal trainer. He sent me the routine, and I did it for 3 months. And after, I was like, okay, this is enough. I think I need more guidance, and I want to hire him. So I did it. But there are many ways that you can go for free. People that do lives in social media. So again, it's not about that maybe you don't have the resources, because I don't know if that is believable.
Yeah.
It's more not about the willingness. Right?
Yeah. And making the time to do it.
Right. And that is painful. Yes, it's painful, of course. But embrace that pain, that discomfort, and do it anyway. Because what I tell my clients is like, you have both options. You have the option of just staying home, don't do anything, watch TV. It's fine. But you're gonna have the pain. It's gonna be mental pain. You're gonna have your mind just nagging on you. Hey, you're not doing anything. Or you have the other option. You don't overthink it. You go to the gym, work out. It's gonna be painful, but the pain is gonna be physical. Yeah. Which pain do you wanna feel, and which one is gonna bring you the reward that you're looking for in the long term?
You have some great words. I'm over here learning. I feel like I'm getting coached right now. I love it. I mean, you have some great information, and I'm soaking it all in. And I think everyone who's watching this video is going to benefit greatly from it. Who is someone? How can I say it? Who is the typical, or who can benefit from a life coach? I mean, I know what I think, and I honestly want to say everybody, and I think so according to you, who could benefit from having a life coach?
Right. And I think there are coaches if you look online, there are coaches for a lot of different people. My niche is professional people in their 30s, older than 30s, who feel lost, who want to find an identity because they feel unsatisfied with who they are right now. So those are my people that I coach. And of course, there is a commitment on this coaching, because we do it weekly. We meet weekly, because, it's not that this is the thought that you have to think. First of all, you create a lot of awareness on the thinking, and then slowly you start changing your thinking. So it takes time, and it takes commitment, consistency, right? So I think it is not for everybody either, because first of all, you need to feel like you're gonna do it. You're gonna be ready, and then you're gonna commit, right? No matter the result, you're gonna commit. And also, I think that there are people that don't need coaches because they are very disciplined and they have this skill ingrained in their mind, so they don't need it, right? But I feel like there are many who are lost and need a coach.
Yeah. I think a lot of people need coaches, I think a lot of people need therapy. I think a lot of people need trainers. I know we have these phones and there's a lot of information on there, but sometimes, you talked about it before, was overthinking it. People will overthink everything. I overthink things sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't necessarily have a life coach, but I do have a certain amount of people in my circle, very small number of people that hold me accountable along with myself. But I know that life coaches are very much needed because I see people all the time, their lives are all out of whack, and as in some phases of my life can be considered out of whack to other people too, so.
Right. And I also think that it starts with your own self-love, like doing not because you don't like how you are looking right now, right? And the same thing applies with the working out. Just do it if you wanna. It's because you deserve it. You are a human
I like that.
You love yourself, so you deserve the opportunity to feel good, to have clean thoughts about yourself, to work on that. And also, I think it is a way of you're feeling enough. It's because you're feeling enough that you're doing this. It's not. Doesn't need to be because you're the worst person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, feeling lost is just an emotion. It doesn't need to be part of your personality. The people that I coach, is that they identify as people that are lost. And then one thing that I show them is like, no, you can experience lost, feeling lost. It's just an emotion. It just takes certain time, a few minutes. And you can continue being yourself. Right? So it's the same thing. It's not that you're not worthy. It could be that sometimes you're experiencing certain feeling that doesn't resonate with you. That's why you act a certain way. That you're careless about yourself. Right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to believe your mind.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe all the thoughts.
Yeah. You said something about you deserve to feel good about yourself. And I think that's so important. People all the time, they say, well, I went through this and I deserve a big house and I deserve a big car and I deserve this job and I deserve this and I deserve that. It's almost like they have a deserved mentality. But a lot of those things, people not necessarily willing to work for everything that they deserve. You know what I mean? And I don't think that anybody really deserves anything other than what you can give to yourself. And that is deserve to feel good about yourself. And that comes from having a clear mind, a fit mind, fit body, all of these other things working on your behalf. It's kind of hard, at least I feel it's kind of hard to be really strong mentally and then not really strong physically or vice versa. I feel like, those things become imbalanced, which makes you overall as a person imbalanced. You know what I mean? So is balance something that you talk about with clients as far as?
Right, I do. Because people think that life has to be achieving happiness. That's and part of what I show them, even with my experience, is that life is 50-50. 50% of the time you're happy. 50% of the time you encounter things in your life. You feel sad, right? And when I learned this new thought, it was life-changing for me because it gives me some relief. Like, yes, I am allowed to feel this grief, even though my husband passed 2 years ago, and I can still feel grief. It's okay. And then after feeling the grief, I can go and work out and feel strong. And that's okay.
You can do both.
So, right, the balance is very important. But what people usually do is that they just identify a certain way and stay with that way. And sometimes the way they identify doesn't help with the purpose that they have in their life, what they want for themselves.
And this is, sometimes it takes people to have a life-altering event in order for them to change.
Right.
I didn't necessarily have that. I kind of did, but I didn't at the same time. I kind of went through a process and had my life-altering event, which like super kickstarted my journey into like fitness and stuff like that. So you said you work out 6 days a week?
Mostly, right.
What do you, hold on, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like once in a while, that's another thing. If I don't want to work out, I don't force myself to work out. It doesn't, I have to do it 5 days because I said it. No, I give myself the flexibility. Like every month, especially when I'm going through my woman stuff. It could be that those days I may feel tired, sleepy. So I'm just going to take it slowly those days. And if I want to go, I will go. But it's planned. It's already in my mind. It's on my calendar. I don't force my body that you have to go, because if you don't go, then you're not. No, I am fit. I am athletic because of what I am. I do it. It's not the opposite. It's not that you have to do something to believe that you are. No, it's to work backwards. You believe that you are, and then you do it.
He's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's fine.
He's fine.
Hey, we live and raw and uncut on here. It is what it is. You got a son. It is what it is. So if he comes in, it ain't no issues. People watching this got kids too,
Okay. Yeah, he probably comes. I don't know.
I was going to ask you something, and then I just lost my train of thought. I think it was something about you. I think I was going to go back to your your fitness. Do you have someone to work out with? I know that, and I ask this question to people and I get different answers, but how do you feel about the buddy system? Because here's the reason why I'm asking, because this is how I feel about it. I feel that it's super good to have somebody to work with you as an accountability partner, but I also understand at the end of the day that there's nobody going to be there except for me. That at the end of the day, this is my journey and I have to do it alone, because there's no guarantee that there's always going to be somebody there. So how do you feel?
But along the way, you have met a lot of people. I mean, you think that you are alone, but no, you have a lot of people following you, and sometimes you work out with somebody. But yes, it's about trusting yourself and believing that even if I am alone, I will do it. Right. And then I don't know about the friend. I think it's good for accountability, but to me, I like the way that I work with my trainer, because he's my trainer. So he's not my friend. He's not gonna, because today, no, just do 10 push-ups. No, you do 20 because I believe in you and I know you can get to that level. So he's not like, with him, it's not like, no, you don't do it because you don't feel good. No, it's more about, I know who you are and you can do it, so do it.
Great. Like that is, what? That's very good information. A lot of people are like, hey man, I'll get my friend, you're gonna work out. But then when the friend don't show up, they don't work out. Or if the friend, like you said, hey, let's just alter the workout. Let's just do, like you said, let's just do 10 versus 20. And the trainer is not going to allow you to do that. They're going to be like, no, we said 20 is on the workout, so we're going to do 20. So, and I think that's good for people to know, especially with people who may be struggling with trying to decide whether or not they should hire a trainer, and I think you made a great point by, sometimes your friends will coddle you, whereas the trainer won't.
Right. And then one thing about that, certain decisions that I don't regret in my life, and it's having a trainer, because I didn't know how to work out. And another one, the coaching, of course. The best investments in my life is feeling good with myself.
I like that. So you said the I word. Go ahead.
people would think that, no, let's get the car, let's get this thing. You can get the car, but the feelings about yourself are coming. Just give it a week or 2 weeks, they will come back.
I like that. I like that. It is so important. Man, that's some great information. I can't wait to go back and watch this and listen to that again. Because that's important. A lot of people fall in that same category, and they don't want to, that I word, which is invest. Like when you spend money on a trainer, you're investing in yourself. When you spend your money for a life coach, you're investing in yourself, and like you said, that car, like you said, you can buy a car and feel good about it, but it'll get dirty. You're going to want another one in a couple of years. You get that car payment after 2 months, like all of those things, but when you invest in yourself, I think a lot of people don't always see as hiring a trainer and life coach as an investment. They look at it as spending money. And I think that's something that we need to change in both of our communities, as far as telling people that it's okay to spend your money on a trainer. It's okay to spend your money on life coach. It's okay to spend your money on therapy.
Right. Because I think the best asset that you have is your brain. Right? And if your brain is working at the level that it should be, you can make more money because you're creative, you're clean, your mind is clean, the way that you function with your family is completely different as a person that is depressed. So just under a lot of sadness.
You take care of the mind, and then, like you said, you can be more creative. You can be in a better place to, be more physically fit. And then, when your mind is good and your body's good, however you want to think about it, but you can work longer hours. You can do harder things. You can do more things in life when you have the mental and the physical capacity. And those things work so well together. I know, like when I'm 100% on it, like when my fitness is up here and my mental is up here, it's like the world is unstoppable. It's like there is nothing that can stop me, and I'm there for the most part on a regular basis. But I do have my moments where I come down a notch a little bit. But I love when my mind and body are all working together in sync. So great.
Right. And also one thing that comes to my mind right now is that don't feel discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Just keep trying. Keep trying. So in the long term, it's gonna be better because then you will acquire the discipline, the consistency.
Yeah. I get people and they like, I want to lose weight, and I'm like, well, I can put you on a diet and you can lose the weight that you want in a couple of weeks or a month, depending on how much you got to go. But is it going to be healthy? Is it going to be, sustainable? And a lot of times, a lot of these diets and stuff like that, they're not, I'm kind of anti-diet. I'm more of a stay consistent, stay regular, eat healthy, 80-20, 85-15. And I eat a lot of things that I want to eat, because I do it on a regular basis. And I know we talk about physical fitness, but the mental part of that, working and exercising our mind on a regular basis, and that's where you talked about the mental health part of it and the meditating and different things like that. And I think that is so important. You know what I mean? It's so important. Like, and I don't know, it's just so important. I think it's so good. And I think the people who are not taking advantage, well, I would say this: everybody doesn't need to meditate, just like everybody doesn't need a coach. But I think for a lot of people, it can be very, very helpful.
Right. And then how do you know that that's not for you? That was another thing. No, that meditation is not for me. And then I will go and ask, but how many times have you done it? 0. And then I'm like, how do you know it's not for you? Like, stay with the facts. If you see that after 5 times that you tried it, yes, it definitely didn't help. That's when you can say this is not for me. But people talk without even trying. They don't stay with the facts, and it's super interesting. Just listening to certain beliefs because they are just beliefs. They don't have to be true.
Do you still listen to different podcasts and stuff like that? Do you have any like recommended podcasts for anyone?
Well, I do listen to the podcast from the school that I graduated from, the Life Coach School with Brooke Castillo.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very good podcast, life changing.
Yeah.
And also I listen to the Widow Mom coach that I used to be with. It's coaching with Krista. That's for widow moms. And also I have listened to her that she talks about that for divorced people that have. It also helps because I think it's related. You grieve as well when you get divorced. It's lost your identity as well. What else? And then I have one that is about happiness, but I don't remember the name.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I mean, there is work on your mind, but you can also, you want to find the time to have fun.
Yeah.
Just about it, you work out and do meditate and all that. No, just try to find a way that you have fun doing everything, and also disconnecting yourself from your daily things as well. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad not to watch TV. I mean, you can do it. Just
moderation.
That's part, right? That is part of your routine and everything, and so that you can give your mind a break from everything, right?
Yeah. What do you do?
Keeping the balance.
All right. So you do fitness and everything. So what do you do for fun? Because fun is part of mental health too. Fun is part of mental fitness as well, and it can be fitness related too. I know, playing sports is always done it for me.
When I am on the treadmill, I listen to my favorite music.
Okay.
Just right there. And then what I did was I designed a plan where I have fun with my son as well. So when I teach him, because I, of course, this side of me, the teacher,
yes,
it's not gone. And I teach him things, and what I like to do is just have fun with him and enjoy it, and just allow my inner child to be there with him, have fun. I also go out with my friends on the weekends. Well, right now my mom is here, but when she wasn't here, I hire a babysitter, and she will come for an hour or two, and I will go out with some friends. And I love to dance. I mean, my culture is into music and dancing, so I go out and do that, or go to a restaurant and just hang out with my friends, right?
Well, if we didn't mention it before, Liz is from Colombia. So, and man, and I've been to Colombia. It is so nice. I had so much fun when I was there. Oh, I definitely want to go back. One day I'm gonna go back.
You went to Cali, right?
Yeah, we went to stay with Miss Lopez. She's going to be on the show here. I think next week or so. Yeah, she's coming on too. Yeah. Crazy. Oh man, that was crazy. What was I going to say? What is the when you go out with your, like, I guess what I got from some of that was that you have, and we talked about balance earlier, because a lot of people who have, and this actually was talked about on another show, was finding time for yourself to do things for yourself, even though you have, work and all these different things and you're having fun and stuff like that. So how do you, I lost my train of thought that fast. Hold on.
Stay consistent, or how do I divide
my
time?
Yeah. How do you stay consistent? Because it's easy, I've seen people, and I've been guilty of it in the past, was that I'll work out for a while, and then I will be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. And I just kind of get fed up with it. And it haven't happened in years, but I do know I've had those moments, and I see a lot of people who roller coaster in life, you know what I mean? Because they have so many different things come up. And it's like, it's like you be going good, and then all of a sudden something to happen, and then you just fall off,
Right. Well, I think the secret, because that's what I noticed, more about doing things on your free time, is the opposite. Don't do anything. It's about giving yourself the time just to stay with yourself. Don't do anything, because that's when the emotions come. And that's what you want to get good at, feeling them, whatever you're going through. Just stay there with yourself for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because your mind and your body, they want to process the emotions, but if you keep pushing them away, you're resisting them. And when you resist your emotions, they don't go away. They eventually come. So to me, and that's what I teach people in the coaching, is like, okay, you have this schedule for your day. Where is your solo time? Your time for yourself, not to do anything, just to hang out with yourself. And people don't like it. People don't like to hang out with themselves because they find things that they don't like. That's part of the journey. That's part of the 50-50. Yes.
That's true.
How about just happiness all the time? It's about this and getting comfortable with the negative side.
That's true. And now that you say that, sometimes we don't always like when we're by ourselves. I totally get that. Because like when I was kind of going through my transition the same way, like I was by myself a lot in the morning time walking, and I had all of these thoughts, and I was like, what in the world? And a lot of, the reality was that because I was having more self-awareness, I guess my mind was starting to think back into my past, and it was bringing up all of these negative thoughts, all of these things that I did in the past that I was still holding on to and beating myself up about. So I think it's also important that we learn to let things go, some of the negative things. If you missed a week of workout, so what? Get back on it. It's Monday, start over.
Right. And that's one thing that I also teach people in my coaching, is that they learn to make peace with their past. Because there are things that you beat yourself up and they don't allow you to go forward because you keep looking at the past, right? But in coaching, what we do is that we want the clients to look at the future. Because probably they have been so much living into that past and that is not serving you. They are just stuck, right? So we help people. That's why they get the results, because if you want to get the results, you have to stop being the person that you are right now. You want to become somebody else, right?
Almost
now,
like
it doesn't mean that you have to get away of the good things about you. You bring them, but you're going to let go of the things that don't serve you, especially your thoughts, that you're not enough, that you don't commit with yourself, that you don't trust yourself, right? So it's more about that. Yes, people stay focused on the past, but the past and the future are in your mind.
Right? Absolutely. Your past self and your future self. I talk to my future self all the time.
Right. Who do you think will serve you? And just do the exercise during your day. What do you look at? What memories come to your mind? The past, or you create things in the future? Where do you live, the past or the future? Just creating this awareness immediately. I mean, it helps you to stay in the present. You're like, wait a minute. Oh, I still keep beating myself up for this.
Yeah. That's what's up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Liz a few minutes to talk about any and everything that she wants to, her final closing remarks. Then we're going to wrap this up.
Okay, well, I want to invite everybody to one of my sessions if they are free. It's a 30-minute session of coaching where I help you to process your emotions. I show you your thinking so that you can become more aware of the life that you want to create and the life that you have right now. And my email is elizabeth.ordonezlifecoach@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Elizabeth Ordonez Life Coach. And I'm here. Just whatever question that you have or anything that you feel stuck, I'm here to help. It's an honor for me. Thank you for inviting me, for having me here. It's amazing to share my journey and everything that I have done.
All right. Y'all can follow the links below. Click on the links. I'll have them in there for you. And until next time, stay consistent and stay fit 365 days a year. We are out.